Hi you guys, this is Khang. Welcome to my channel, Wholesale to Million. I want to share quickly with you guys in this video are the two things that I think that hold most wholesaler back from doing their first wholesale deal, all right? One of them is this is the one that overanalyze. They analyze on everything. They try and read all the books, watch all the videos. They trying to connect all the dots. They trying to figure everything out before they pull the trigger, before they go out there and start sending out their marketing, before, so they analyze about everything, trying to get everything figured out, trying to have all the answers to all the questions before they start. All right, you guys? And to me, that's gonna hold you up, and that's gonna hold you up from needing to do your first wholesale deal, and it's gonna take you a lot longer to do your first wholesale deal than if you were to go ahead and take action and start doing. All right, instead of gathering and learn all the information and try to have everything figured out, you're not gonna have everything figured out. All right, you guys, I just want to let you know that you're not gonna have every single answer, every single question answered. You're not gonna have all the keys to all the unlocked door. All right, and as you go along, you will figure things out. All right, so don't overanalyze and let that hold you back. Okay. Second, you guys, these are the one. Second is worry. You worry about everything, all right? You worry, especially, how do I find, what if I don't find that buyer, all right? What if I tie this piece of property up on a contract and I can't find a buyer? You know, what happened if I run out of time? What happened if the sellers gets upset because we didn't close on it like we talked about, and then they come at me and they sue me, etc.? What happened? What happened? What happened? And you have all these worries and all these questions, and that holds you back, all right? And it holds you back, all right? You guys, how do I know this? Because I lost a deal that I could have made probably about, I would say, $30,000 on it, because I was, and this is when I first started out too, and I was worried, all right? I was worried because, hey, what if I can't find the buyer for the deal? What if I can't sell the deal? You know, and I have all these things that comes up, and it holds me back from pulling the trigger, and then I end up losing that deal out to another investor. So I don't want that to happen for you guys, all right? I don't want that to happen to you. And you guys, so don't worry about step 10 if you haven't done step 1. So those of you who are who are over worrying and who are over analyze, listen to me right now. The biggest thing you got to understand is that in your contract, you have to understand that in your contract, you must make sure that your contract have a contingent that protects you as a buyer, as a wholesaler, that it gives you a way out. All right? So you guys got to understand this, is that the seller understand that nobody's going to buy the property without ever seeing it. All right, nobody's going to close on it without ever seeing it. All right, the only way, the only buyers that's going to buy property sight unseen, or they never do a walkthrough, is through is at the auction. It's really rare to come across one of those buyers, and typically those are the auction guy, right? They buy property where they've never seen it. They got it at a screaming deal, so they didn't care about it. Okay, but most sellers, you guys, they understand that for the buyers to close on this property, they must do their due diligence, right? They must walk through the property. They must inspect the property. They must verify all the informations to their satisfactions before they close on it. All right, you guys, the seller understand that, and they know that, all right? Even if they list their property with an agent, they know that it's going to go through a process, right? It's going to go through the inspections period. It's going to go through, a feasibility. Feasibilities and inspection is pretty much similar. It just gives you, as the buyer, a time frame to do your own homework, your own due diligence before you close on it, before you decide to close on it. All right, you guys? And so you guys got to understand that, once you have that contingent in your contract, you guys, if the deal sounds right, if you do everything you can already, you checked all the resource, you figure out, okay, that's what the property is worth. It's worth 100. The seller wants to sell it to me for 40,000 or 50,000. You guys, if it sounds like a good deal, don't hesitate. Don't think. Don't hesitate. Don't think about other stuff. Get that deal locked up. Tie that deal under contract and make sure that you can get it locked up as much time or as long as you can, 30, 60, 90 days if you can. The longer, the better. And that time period, you guys, that's what allows you to now have a product and then go out there and market to find that cash buyer that wants to buy it. So if the seller hasn't signed the contract, you have no deal. So don't overanalyze, don't overthink, don't over worry. Oh, what if this happened? What if that's happened? You haven't even got a deal yet, all right? Until you have a deal, then worry about the next step of what to do, all right, you guys? But what I'm sharing with you is that as long as you have that contingent in your contract, you should be just fine. And if you are over worried, tell the seller. I mean, we tell the seller, hey, you know what? Once we come to an agreement, then you understand that we are going to send out our contractor or our partner or inspector to view the property to make sure that everything, to make sure that, the rehab costs and make sure the property is, the rehab costs and to check on everything before we close on it, right? Do you understand that? And you guys, most seller is going to understand that, you guys. So if that's what holding you back, tell the seller that, all right? Tell the seller that, hey, once we come to an agreement, we're going to send our partner, inspect them. We're going to inspect the property, make sure everything is, make sure we're satisfied with everything before we move forward to closing. Do you understand that? And you guys, so put it out there, lock that deal up under contract, then worry about the next step. All right, you guys, but if you don't have a deal, don't start worrying. Don't overanalyze stuff. It's going to hold you back, and you're going to end up losing out on a good deal to somebody else, all right? So, you guys, make sure you have that contingent. Tie that deal up under contract. After that, let's say if you can't find a buyer for it, you can go back and renegotiate with the seller, all right? I said it so many times. You can go back, renegotiate with the seller. Tell the seller, hey, you know what? After looking through everything, checking the property out, the number is just not going to work for us. So in this case, we're going to cancel the deal. The seller gets their property back. They can sell to whoever they want. You get your earnest money back, because you guys got to understand, you're not going to lose your earnest money, because in that time period, right, in that contingent, that time period that lets you do your inspection, your own due diligence to make sure as a buyer if you want to move forward with it or not, all right? Within that time period, you have the rights to get back your earnest money if that is what agreed upon, all right? Typically, that's the normal, all right? So you get your earnest money back, you go on to finding the next deal. The seller gets the property back, now they can sell to whoever they want, all right, you guys? So that's all you should worry about. You worry about, a lot of you worry about, oh, what if my rehab is, what if I underestimate my rehab? And what if I overestimate what the property's worth? You guys, it doesn't matter. If it sounds like a good deal, yes, you can underestimate your rehab costs because you first start out, you don't really know how much thing costs. It's okay. Once you lock it up, you now have that, property. All right, you have a product to market, all right? If you don't have any products, you can't market it, all right? You're not going to be able to market if you don't have anything, all right? You have the products, you're going to market that product, all right? You're going to find that buyer, and that buyer's going to go in, and they're going to let you know, hey, you know what, Khang, you underestimated the rehab. Instead of 20,000, it's 30,000. You said it's worth 100, but to us, it's only worth 90,000 or 80,000. Here is the price that we'll buy it at. They're going to give you a price. If they don't, you ask for that, all right? They're going to give you a price, and then now you have a buyer in place, and you already have a seller in place with a contract with them already, all right? Now you can go back and renegotiate and see if you can make it work. You guys, when you first start out, you're going to make mistakes, so don't worry about making mistakes. You are going to make mistakes, but what I want to tell you is that as a wholesaler, if you have that contingent, in place, all you go back is you just cancel the deal. Worst to worst case, let's say it's worst case, you're running out of time, you feel bad for the seller because you take up so much of their time already, and you thought it was a good deal, and you try to market this property, then you know what? Then just forfeit that earnest money. So just give that seller the earnest money, all right? They can't sue you, they can't go after you because that's in the contract, and that is their normal. I want to tell you guys that. They cannot force you to buy the property, all right? In that contract, even in a standard purchase and sale contract through the MLS, there are buyers that went through the inspections, went through the appraisal. At the date of closing, they decided to back out because maybe there's divorce, maybe something happened financially. They backed out, and guess what happened? all that buyer's going to lose is they're going to lose the earnest money. Nobody's going to sue them. Nobody's going to force them to buy the property. All right, you guys? They're just going to lose the earnest money. I wish I would have knew that when I really first jumped into it, because I would have, you know, because when you tie so many pieces of property up, when you first start it, you're going to make the mistakes. You're going to make the, you know, your number's going to be wrong. But if you do enough deals, you're going to close something, all right? And that's what I want you guys to understand, that it is normal, all right? The worst case is that you're going to lose your earnest money, and your earnest money, you guys, can be $1, $2, $10, $100, $1,000. It can be any amount, whatever amount that agreed between you and the seller upon, all right, you guys? So don't overanalyze, don't overthink. If it sounds good, tie it up, then worry about the next step. And like I said, worst case, you come back, renegotiate with the seller and say, hey, you know what? Here's the price that we need to be at, and if you can make this work, we're ready to move forward. We're ready to close on it. All right, you guys? So don't let the worries, don't let overanalyzing holding you back. Like I said, if you have that contingent in your contract, go ahead. If the number sounds right, if it sounds like it makes sense, pull the trigger, lock it up, then worry about the next step. You guys, when I first started too, you know, agents were sending me deal, and the deal sounds good, and they send me over this MOS, purchase and sell agreement, and you guys know you know, it's like it feels like it's hundreds of pages, right? And obviously, I'm not good at reading, so I send it out to people to verify, to look it over. I wasted so much time. And I was so worried to sign it, because I didn't want to attach myself to this property, because I said, well, you know, what if I find, you know, what if I can't find a buyer, or what if something happened and I can't move forward to buying it, or the seller gonna come after me, like what's gonna happen? I get all worried. Now I sign it, you guys. Any contract that the agent sent over, I just sign it. I just sign it directly online. I just sign it. I don't really look through everything. Here's one thing I look for, is I tell the agents in that contract, put a contingent, an inspection contingent for me. It could be 15 days, 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, whatever it is, whatever that contingent time period is, that you can get an agreement upon you and the seller. And that's all I care about, because I know that within that time period, I can do whatever I needed to do. And if I can't find a buyers, or if I don't want to move forward to buying the property, I can go ahead and tell the agents, you know what? We did our research. The number doesn't make sense. That's all you got to say. You don't need to come up with anything. You don't need to come up with, oh yeah. You don't need a report from an inspector. You don't need proof of anything. You can just come back and say, sorry, we did our research and the numbers just don't make sense. Now all it is they just going to send the cancel addendum to the seller and send one to you. You sign it. You get earnest money back, and it's back to square one to win. That's what I want you guys to know. All you worry about is have that agent saying, hey, as long as there's an inspection contingent in there, 15, 20, 30, whatever days it is, within that time period, you have the right to back out, get your earnest money back, and everything be back to normal. All right, you guys? I want you guys to understand that. So don't overthink, don't overanalyze, don't overworry. Make sure the contingent in there. If it sounds right, if it looks good, lock it up under contract, then worry about the next step. All right, you guys? Once you have a product, you can go back, renegotiate, and try to make it work. And the key, you guys, when the seller is already in the motion of getting deal in, you know, in the motion already, selling their property, in their head now, their property, like, it's sold, right? It's sold. It's so much easier, you guys, to go back and renegotiate with the seller, right? Go back and renegotiate with the seller and try to make the deal work. All right, because now they are committed to you. You know, they're committed to you, and they're in it for, you know, 5 days or 7 days or 10 days. In their mind, you know what? They just want this. If the seller's motivated, they just want this deal. They just want it to close on it. They just want it to sell it. And now you have a product, you have a buyer. You can come back, renegotiate with them, try to make it work for everyone. And if it does work, great. There you go. You just make your first deal. If it doesn't work, then everything goes back to normal, right? Seller gets their property back. You get your earnest money back. You're back to square one. Now you're going to start doing the next one. All right, you guys? So I want you guys to understand that, so that way you can now understand that, hey, just pull the trigger, tie it up on the contract, then worry about the next thing. All right? So don't overthink, you guys. I'm here to tell you guys, as a wholesaler, you don't have that, you know, that amount of risk like a flipper have. Right? When you buy and fix and flip, you want to make sure that your number is correct, because if you underestimate the repair, you get into the project, you know, you put all your money into the deal already, right? You close on, you buy the property already, and now if your rehab, you know, if you underestimate your rehab, that could eat up a lot of your profit. And sometimes people can lose money on buying and fixing and flipping a deal because they don't know their numbers. But as a wholesaler, you know, you have that time period to do your due diligence. That means to go find your buyers. If you can't, then it's back to square one. All right, you guys? That's it. I just want to share that quickly with you guys. Hopefully that will help you guys out for those of you who's starting out and who's in that positions and who's worried and overanalyzing everything. I want to tell you guys, make sure to contingent, pull the trigger, figure out the next steps. I share with you guys in my channel how to 11 ways to find a cash buyer. And I'm sure that, you know, you'll be able to find other channel that other people might have different techniques to find the buyers and help you out as well. But if you don't have a product, you don't have nothing to sell. All right, you guys? So anyways, you guys, if this video does help you, right, then smash that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up, don't be shy. And for those of you who haven't joined the family and the channel and the journey, you guys smash that subscribe button. I love to share with you guys what I've learned and what I will be learning in wholesaling, where we do it virtually, where we don't see the seller, the buyer, or the property. We're able to lock these all tied up under contract and make a great profit on them. All right, you guys? So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for every single one of you guys that have subscribed, that has helped the channel to get this far. And when we hit 1,000, you guys, I'm going to do something amazing. You know, that if you guys follow me already, you guys will know I'll be your purchase manager, hopefully help you guys out to lock a deal up under contract. So thank you, you guys. If you do like this video, don't be shy, smash that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.